Yes, we are live now. Excuse me, and I will be taking like 5 minutes to send the broadcast to some of us on the WhatsApp on our community. So just give me like 5 minutes, and I will 3 minutes, and I'll do that now. If you're already in the loop, I want you to please introduce yourself in the comment section. Let's know your name and where you're watching from, and then we can proceed. We have a number of us that are watching from Nigeria and diaspora. Uh, okay, thank you guys for joining us. Okay, thank you so much. I am Financial Paul, Group CEO, uh, Zenith City Group, and most of my live section will be on business and investment. Some of us that are new on this channel, we teach business and investment on this channel. And then what we newly commenced is a form of entertainment that is also kind of teaching on business and investment. So I have Linda from RSA. Is that South Africa? Um, Please, if I didn't get it right, just correct me, Linda. I want to pull you up. Is that South Africa? Linda is from RSA, Onset Financial Service. We have people who are really ready to do business here. And then today's section is going to be for 45 minutes. We'll be ending by 11 because we started like 10 minutes after 10. So uh, I would try as much as possible to keep the section for 30 minutes and leave a 15-minute question and answer so that we can ask our questions, and then and then we will be able to make do of the lecture for tonight. Okay, just one more minute and I'm good. One more minute and I'm good. For some of us that are still joining us, I want us to introduce ourselves. Linda, I just introduced from South Africa, and Balala, if I get it correctly, Balala from Lagos. Thank you for joining Natural Healing TV. This is also a means to show what you're doing. Linda, Onset Financial Service, and Balala, yeah. So I just need one more person and then we'll move right in. Also, please share this link to people that or your friends. This would be of great benefits to them to take advantage of. So you can share it to them so that they can take advantage of this, and then they will be glad they joined. I can tell you this. So today's section, we'll be talking mostly on business and investment. But before I go into the core, I want to talk about, so there are some investment, especially if you're considering investing. Firstly, Africa. Africa is a fertile land. Africa is a fertile land that you can invest in. I want you to just settle this in your mind. There are economies that are called developing economy. Africa generally is a developing economy. You know what is going on around the globe? Burkina Faso, Nigeria, and several other African countries that have decided, whose governments have decided to take investments into their hands. They made more money. So why am I saying this? Wherever you are, because I know there's a number of us that are in Nigeria and also in diaspora, wherever you are, you can make money investing in Africa. So what I'm teaching us on, you can replicate it. Whether you want to replicate it in Nigeria, Nigeria has one of the largest markets in terms of economy. share. Whatever, one of the beautiful thing about Nigeria is because of the population. The population, where you see population, you will see business thrive. That's why you see most tech companies that comes from the USA, they thrive because a lot of people are in the USA migrating from various countries to the USA. But if you check other economy, other countries like India, companies that set up in India make money because Indian is growing massively. Another example is China. China population is massive. So anywhere you see population, that is business telling you to commerce. Any business you commerce, read the market, check the statistics, look at the top business growing in that country, plug in. As far as there is population and the market is telling you to move in, you are ready to go. The same thing for Nigeria. The market is there. All you just want to do is do your due diligence and plug in. Now, the same to replicate even in Lagos. Let's come out of Nigeria and let's talk about Lagos. A lot of population is in Lagos. And that is why the GDP, let me use the word GDP, of Lagos, or the development in Lagos, is growing at a massive rate because so many people are migrating from other states to Lagos. And then businesses are thriving in Lagos. So anywhere there is population, you always make a lot of money. Now I want to share with you. Let me share my screen. I want to share with you some businesses that you can never go wrong with if you invest. These are top investments that can help you make money. That can help you make money in Nigeria when you invest in Nigeria. Just a second. I also want to. You can make money investing in these businesses in Nigeria. I will list out those businesses, then I'll now pick one of the businesses and then elaborate, and then we end it for today. Next week I will list out another business, elaborate. So this section is just to teach you business knowledge, and then you go and commence the businesses and investments you want, that attracts, or that you feel attracted to. Now let me quickly share my screen now, and then I will share just a little presentation based on statistics. Now I want to be sure you can. Okay, great, you can see this. Great. So let me just share this now. I'm showing you top 10 investments in Nigeria in 2025 that if you plug in, you are good to make a lot of money. Top 10 investments in 2025 that if you plug in, you are going to do what you will be making a lot of money. I hope you can see this. And real estate is the number one investment. Real estate is the number one investment. Look at the market cap for this. What you can benefit if you plug in, you can take part of the share of this investment. So I'm going to list out like about 10 markets that you can plug in, but I will take two, and I'll concentrate on two for today. Real estate is number one. Before it was oil, but real estate is becoming the in thing. These statistics is for Nigeria. Like I said in the heading, is for Nigeria. So bear that in mind, please. Nigerian real estate sector remains the most valuable investment opportunity. Includes residential, commercial development, land banking, smart estates, especially with urban and emerging areas like Lagos and Abuja. In fact, not only Lagos and Abuja, locations like Ogun State, south or the east, like Enugu State. Enugu State is really positioning itself to attract investors, and there's a lot of companies moving into Enugu State. Now, Ogun State is part of it. Asaba Delta is also part of this state that is emerging, and there's a lot of people investing in these states. Now, the second investment, top investment opportunities in Nigeria is trade. See, with Nigeria's booming population, trade thrives in retail, export, import, e-commerce, distribution, and supply chain. So whatever trade you want to do, whether you want to do importation or you want to do exportation or you want to do e-commerce, if you have been long on my YouTube channel, I've actually talked about the fact that trade is e-commerce was the starting business. Was I started with trade. I have transcended over the years. I've been in business for more than 12 years. Some of us that have been with me from onset, I've transcended. And one thing about me is I transcend. I transcend. And what do I mean by transcend? I move from industry to another industry. And that is why, as a business person, you must be flexible to transcending. Let me explain in 3 minutes how I transit. I started with a capital of very small amount of money. And what did I start with? I started with manufacturing, which is under trading. I went to this training. I had access to learn how to produce detergent and allied products, different products under detergents and allied products. We had the certification, which has to do with green soap, Dettol, Iza, Vim, hand wash, products under jig. Would I call it jig? Most people know it as, all these detergent and light product I can use to make your clothes clean, jig, hypo, and the likes. They're under this stuff. So I learned up to 10. And then I started with a brand, Iza. I started from a very, very low state. Went to the market, bought the chemical, mixed it, cork it, branded it. I called it Alpha Iza. I coined the word from Alpha and Omega, Alpha Iza, and I put it on the market at Ojuo in Munshi, and I was selling. From that business, I raised my first 100,000 naira because I started with like 10K. I raised 100,000 naira to 150K. I bought a phone for myself. Having have access to internet, I started learning on blogging. So I actually stopped the detergent and allied business because NAFDAC had issues. NAFDAC needed us to obtain license. And then I was struggling. For me to obtain a NAFDAC license, I need to have it registered, incorporated. I need to have a manufacturing plant. I was literally manufacturing from our store. Detergent and all that. The product is actually Iza. Iza that you can put in your toilet to disinfect. Yes. So well packaged and good. So moving away from that, I moved away from that business to digital business, which has to do with blogging, website designing. And from that, I learned e-commerce and importation. I imported. And then the clothes I imported, I sold on an e-commerce platform. I created my website, mysuit.com.ng. I sold on my website, sold on partners' website like Jumia and Konga. I raised money from, before I even started selling my own product, I was selling other people's products. So why am I saying all these things? You must be ready to read the market and transit over time. Now, the money I made from the e-commerce business, I sold other people's products. I was not serious. I was making the money. I was spending it. But when I look at the statistics, I've sold over 5 to 7 million for this guy that has a shop. And I say, no, I have to be serious with this. I was just spending my commission in football kits because I love to play football there. I wanted to become a professional player. And then I transited selling my own products. I saved up to 100K. I started selling my products. And then from 100,000, I was able to, within 1 year, with the help of 200,000, a sibling load me, that's 300K on my e-commerce business. Within 1 year, I've sold close to 1 point. In 8 months, that 300K has increased to 900,000. See, my journey has been a journey of discipline all along. And I've seen it that, okay, this is just the way my life is. Let me just be disciplined. God is going to bless it. From 100K to 300K to 900,000. And then here comes the almighty Black Friday. 900,000 turned 3 million naira in 5 months. But before the 3 million naira came, some goods were in transit, some were in store, some in cash. I plugged out of the 3 million naira assets that I have, whether liquid or goods. I bought a landed property, 400,000 naira, my first landed property, and I started building. When I built for almost 8 months, the price of the place I bought for 400,000 increased to 900,000. I developed the estate for them, because as soon as I built, other people started building. The estate that I bought the first landed property from, they increased their price. If I had known, I would have used the money that I used to build to buy like 10 plots. Now that place is selling for 3 to 4 million naira per plot, and that's, let's say, 2 years after, it was selling like for 2 million naira, and I bought it at 400,000. If I bought 10 plots for 4 million, in 2 years it's gonna be 20 million. But I learned from that. So now from there, I went to train myself in the real estate space, go to trainings, pay for training, gather certification, venture into real estate. I haven't seen the business, the money side of real estate. Said, hey, I'm gonna set up a real estate company. And then having worked for a real estate company, obtain the necessary knowledge, set up the company, and also knowledge from the Institute of Chartered Accountants. So I'm saying all this to let you know that a business person or an investment-minded person cites an investment, does his due diligence, and move. And why? Now, let me tell you something. There are people that were on that e-commerce platform. I already left the platform. When I started my real estate company, I sold all my products and put it in the real estate space, because I was confident that this real estate space is going to do well. I sold all my products. The only thing I was selling in the e-commerce space was my knowledge. I no longer sell physical products. I now sell knowledge on how to start your real estate business, because I started with 100,000 and I've grown it to 5 million, 4 to 5 million, and I moved to real estate, channel all the money in the real estate space, and I started teaching how to make money through e-commerce to gather little cash flow. So you have to be able to see out of all these businesses that I've mentioned, 1, 2, 3 that catch your mind. You may not start from all of them, but there will be one you will start from, and then over time you diversify. But you have to be ensure that while diversifying, the one that is doing well does not get to suffer for your diversification and expansion. That is when diversification is irrelevant. If you are diversifying into a new business and then the one that is thriving is suffering, then there is no point. All you just need to do is to make that one stand, create structure, and then move, diversify. That one is growing, and then you're commencing a new line. So I was able to move from real estate. I said, oh, the food business is also a business that has real estate in it. We move into that. Now, people that were on the e-commerce 6 years ago, 7 years ago, and they didn't transit, making their money and stay put on that e-commerce platform, they now have a lot of issues, because when the Tinubu regime came up, dollar to naira skyrocketed, cost of goods went high. Products that were buying for 13,000 is selling at an OC price of 35,000. I was not even thinking about it, because me, I've moved to a market that is not influenced so much by the movement of the Nigerian naira. There was a time I went to a place that I used to see people that I used to buy from. Say, guy, you don't move now. You don't. Some of them pack up their stocks. So I'm saying this to say that because you started with telecommunication does not, or let me not use the word, maybe you started with selling gadgets, does not mean you should stay put at gadgets. Also look at other opportunities that can help you make money, and then transit wisely. Remember what I said? Don't make where you are moving to affect where you are moving from. That is not a story for today. Let me just quickly cover up uh, the presentation on top businesses so you can have an idea of what you want. The trade still booming, but there are so many things that is changing. It has over 4.9 trillion naira market cap. You can take advantage of it. Then crop production like rice to cassava to maize to vegetable to, you see, all these crop production is a massive sector with room for investors in the mechanized farming, export farming, and value added processing. See, if you don't take anything from what I am sharing today, just a second, if you don't take anything from what you see, this number 3, crop production, rice to cassava to maize, is a huge market that can help you make money, manage money, and multiply money. The crop production is a huge market. And then I'm playing into it. The first time I launch into it is a 10-acre farm. I was already in the real estate space. Oh, all this land, why am I, the popular maxims is don't wait to buy land to wait. But I was thinking, why would I wait? Why would I buy land and wait? I can make money while waiting. All these expanse of acres that we have, let's turn them into farming. There are several videos that have talked about how you can make money from your land in my live sections. So that's what inspired the food business. We have to make do with we have to make every opportunity. And then we set up the farm business. So see, you don't need to, there are different ways you can come into the farm space. You can come in as an investor. You can come in as a marketer. You can come in as the producer, as a crop production. Whichever way you can come in, you will make money. Just choose your ways that you want to come in, depending on your current situation. Can you till the ground now where you are? Some of us are in the diaspora. You have access to land and can start tilling the ground. Yes, no. Okay, if no, what can I do? Okay, I can meet people who have tilled the ground and produce, take their harvest and sell it. Operate in the export line. Okay, I can invest in a company that is running this and we own the share of profits. That's another line. Okay, I can do this tilling of the ground myself. See, agriculture is a huge opportunity. I'll still come back to it because that's what I want to quickly elaborate on in the next 15 to 20 minutes. I'll still come back to that. But let me finish up with the booming industries that can help you make money. We also have telecommunication and information service. You can imagine telecommunication, that was the major, anybody playing in this field is making money, but there is a barrier to new entrants. There's barrier to new entrants in this industry, meaning you have to add large capital base for you to enter into this industry, telecommunication industry. Now, but if you look at the digital space, Nigerian digital economy is expanding rapidly, investing in broadband infrastructure, data center, mobile service, IT setup. Some part of telecommunication is not even some part. The whole of telecommunication is capital intensive if you want to invest. But you see, the information system you can invest, like this data center and mobile service. There are people that just set up a digital mobile service. Maybe I will do a section on that, where you can create an app and it's just a digital mobile service. People buying data, airtime, and all these digital service, bill payment, load your stay time. You just create the website, just create the app, and if you can run publicity and people believe in your brand and they start using your service, you are in money. So that is for that. So let me show us others. We have construction. For construction also, you have to be capital intensive. For construction, you have to get the required licenses. Crude, crude petroleum and natural gas. You can imagine 3 trillion. Real estate is number one. Let's go further. Food, beverages, and tobacco, a staple industry with high turnover. Opportunities lies in packaged food, beverage production, and agro processing. This one, as far as I'm concerned, is under food production, is under food business. So food production and food, beverage, and tobacco, they are together. You see, this livestock, they are all together, they are all food. You see, food is broken down into three different spaces. Number one here is crop production, and number uh we have number seven and number eight. All of them are under food production. Then we have the financial institution. Of course, the financial institution is more than this. But don't look at this statistics. Tend to this statistics is for Q1. So, but when there is a high viewed statistics, this statistics was gotten from Nairametrics. Let me show us. Statistics was gotten from Nairametrics and it's for Q1. This means a you to do what to access. Then the textile and the apparel and footwear industry is under fashion. So what I want to say, I want us to come back. Um, okay. Uh, Great. Can we all hear me now? If you can hear me, please put in the comment section you can hear me and then I can proceed. Okay. Can we all hear me now? Great. We can all hear me, please. I can hear myself, so that means we can hear me. So sorry about that, the network fluctuation. And then, so now looking at the agri space, now looking at just in crop production can really make you a lot of money. And then what you now want to look at is um which industry, which crop can I key into. You see, or let me say agri or food business is a business that can make you a lot of money. So under the food business, you now want to look at it that do I want to play in the market of distribution? See, if you can set up an organization and then all you focus on is rice sales, you need money for this. Buy from farmers, package it, brand yourself, and sell to people. You go to rural areas, maybe take for instance, you buy for 10 naira, and you go to urban area and you sell for 14 naira. If you play well there, you can make a lot of money. And again, if you know how to structure your company well, you can make a lot of money. if you know how to play well in the industry, and you get your distribution right and your corporate structure right, you can make a lot of money. Another area you can do is that you can say, okay, I want to do what? I want to produce my own crop. You see, cassava alone, let's do a research. These things is easy to do this research. Cassava alone, there are various byproducts of cassava that can make you a lot of money. If you say, I want to sell my cassava raw, there is a company in Nigeria, a cassava processing company in Nigeria. Bring the cassava, they will buy it because they are processing it and they are gaining different things from it. They are using some to do gari, that is cassava flakes, and then they are sieving ethanol from some, selling for to pharmaceutical companies, and then they are creating cassava flakes. They are creating poundos from. So there are various byproducts in the cassava crop opportunity. How about maize? With maize, you can create maize flour. A lot of companies are now using maize flour to bake and do a number of bakings. So this is an opportunity or a market that is wide. Now, Nigerians are not harnessing in the area of exportation, and that is one of the areas my company will play into also. The market is there. Now, the question will now be, do you want to sell in wholesales, or you want to sell in retail and gain more money, or you want to sell as a packaged food? Now, you see, for that corn, you can decide to sell the corn raw like that and you make your money. You can decide to create a maize flour, package it. It will take more time to finish selling. Take, for instance, you harvest a 10-acre maize and it's a lot of tons. You can easily sell it and go back and repeat the cycle. After 3 months, maize is for 3 months, cassava, depending on the species, some is for 6 months and some is for 9 months. See, that 9 months is very massive. If you set up a maize farm, a cassava farm of, let's say, 1 acre or 2 acre, you are in money. Now, bear in mind that there is also work to be done, but these are crops that are easy for you to commerce. Do you get? These are crops that are easy for you to commerce. So what you need to do is to look at the market you want to play into, and then you'll be ready to do, or you'll be ready to keen to making a lot of money from it. Now, another thing that I want to quickly elaborate on before I plan to wrap up, because my section would not be more than 11 p.m. 11 p.m. West African time. So I have 5 minutes to wrap up, and then we can ask our questions, and then we can now go deeper in the other sections. So for food industry, I made mention of something. If you can position your company in the right structure, and that is what we want to do for Zenith City Foods. That is why I didn't call it Zenith City Farms. Oh, I'm giving some deep ideas here. I will mute this what is it called? This section will be, well, no problem. Let's just leave the knowledge. You see, when you position it as a food company, it is more appealing to investors. The goal is to still quote it, to still become public. Quote it on the Nigerian Stock Exchange. I'm going to quote one of my companies on Nigerian Stock Exchange, and that's my goal. It's not all these people that will only enjoy the public investments. I will still quote it on Nigerian Stock Exchange. That may be a 4 years or 5 years ago. And that's why I made mention of if you can structure rightly. Currently, what we are trying to do, let me leave what I'm trying to do. Let's talk about let me not say a lot of deeper strategy, but let me just come into the business part. So if you position as a food company and you do your due diligence with the right distribution, right production, till the ground, get harvest, have the distribution, and then structure your company, you are good to go. So for some of us that are watching this video and you're looking at, okay, how can I tap into this game? There are some of the estates, the real estate arm of my company are set up for people. There's one that we call Grey City. Now, Grey City is located in Abeokuta, and then I did a video on update of Grey City. Grey City, people that came into it, they can farm on it or lease it to Zenith City Foods to farm on it, and then they get return on investment. So as an individual, so that one is sold out. But we have the other arm of it, which is KFC, Kids Farm Community. Anybody can invest in it. We just branded it as a Kid Farm Community to give it a unique selling point. But it's just almost the same thing with Grey City. And it's even, the location is very, very good. So for Kids Farm Community, people can also invest in Kids Farm Community. Currently selling, you can invest in 1 acre. I don't pitch one plot to people, because what do you want to do with one plot? If the value appreciates, times what? Times 1. That was the error I did when I bought my first land. One plot for 400,000. And it appreciated within 2 years, 1 year to 2 years. Maybe my profit was I didn't even wait for 2 years for that land. It was barely 1 year. I already sold half plot for 500k because I needed money. I already understand the game, so I sold half plots, use the 500k, add it with the money with me, then I now buy in acres. So you don't want to think about buying in one plot. One plot is for newbies, and you being this section is a wealth masterclass. So you don't want to look around one plot. You want to look around 1 acre, 5 acres. Some people have invested in 5 acres. All you just need to do is do 2 investments in one. While you are investing in the Nigerian's #1 industry, real estate, and that involves you buying landed property. Instead of you to buy land and wait, you can make money while waiting. It's dual investment. Your land is appreciating and your land is producing you money. Gone are the days when you will buy land and wait. You buy land and stop waiting. You buy land and make money with it. So that's the concept with Grey City and Kids Farm Community. So people buy land and then they farm on it and then they earn cash flow. Okay, financial poor, I can't farm on it. We create another medium where you can still make money from it, which is leasing it to a company. They pay you a yearly rental income. There are some people that are earning close to 1.5 million on a yearly basis on their land. Most companies, you just buy land, they allocate you, that's all. And then they've given you your land. Come and develop. But this one is, hey, if you are not ready to develop within the next 1 to 2 years, you can still make money from it. But that does not mean you should not develop when development sets in. Some of these locations we develop, let's say in the space of 5 years, let's say in the space of 4 to 5 to 6 years. But during the period, how do you make money from it? So you can do such investment. Now, there are 2 ways you can invest with my organization. Either you get a piece of the earth from a trusted organization that will guide you through your acquisition process and then proceed your farming, or you lease to the company for rental income. That's one way. Number 2 way, okay, I want to invest in the farm and earn profits. There's also a section for that. Okay, financial power, I want to invest in it. Okay, you guys are handling a farm product, because the truth is, if you lease a 50-acre farm, it takes a lot of money to set up a 50 acres farm. Common 1 acre farm is large. I know what my eyes saw when we were cultivating a 10 acres farm. But because I think like I'm an investor, I'm not looking at the cost of investment. My eyes on the return on investment. So took us a lot clearing the whole 10 acres. And when you are farming, the land you want to farm on, you don't cut it with machine. You don't scrape it with machine like you want to build. You have to clear it with manual clearing so that they don't clear the manure with machine, because they will cut the ground, the soil from the deep, and they'll cut away the manure. So you have to be compelled to do a manual clearing if you want to farm. And you know the cost of doing a manual clearing now on one plot, not talk of 60 to 70 plots. And when you are dealing with artisan, you have to be with them, you have to be on them to ensure that they deliver. So it's a lot. So so if you are farming on 1 acre, it's still manageable. If you're farming on, I would advise whichever you are starting from, at least start in a good point. 1 acre, that is my small for you. Start small, 1 acre. If you want to farm it yourself, and then grow to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 acres, and then make money. But if you want to start big, or if you're not the one handling it, you are leasing it, 5 acres, keep your land, earn rental income on a yearly basis, and then you make money. So the third way you can do is to second way you can do is to invest in the farm. Okay, you guys are cultivating a 10-acre farm. I want to invest so amount of money. We have that rolling out so amount of money, and I will earn a return on investment on this. Another one that we are still looking out for opening is actually equity investment. And that one, because I have a massive vision for the Zenith City Foods and Zenith City Limited, I'm still looking at that equity investment. But whichever investment you take advantage of, you make money. Whether you buy the land and farm yourself, or you buy the land and lease, or you invest as an investor, or project investment. Maybe that's just what we're going to focus on. Project investment. The project is going to last for 1 year. You invest 10 million naira, and then you earn 14 million naira, because your money is going into what you can see. See, this person speaking with you is someone that is done a lot of research before he ventures into anything. Food business is a certain business. Your product alone is collateral. Is more bank trust your food products alone than some people's land in their village. You can't collateralize one land in one village, but you see your products that you harvest can be collateralized. So food business is a huge business, is a sweet business. So, and it's a certain business. I may not be able to go into a more strategic part. That would be for paid section, but I want to make sure I deliver value for this free section. So if you're interested in taking advantage of any of these ways of making money, I want you to just do what? To reach out in the comment, to reach out to me on WhatsApp. I may not pick calls. Let me just pull it up. +234 Okay, you can reach out to me on WhatsApp. Hey, financial ball, I'm interested in just a second. I'm not supposed to do this. Can I say financial ball? I'm interested in taking advantage of either of this opportunity. Financial ball, I'm interested in this opportunity. Number one, buying the land and farming myself. Where is it available? Give me more details. I'll send you the book. I'll send you the book. Number two, I want to buy the land and lease to a company that will make me rental income. I don't want to do the work. Just pay me rental income, and I wait for my land to appreciate, and I make money from it. That's another one. Number three, financial, I want to do a project investment okay, you have the project in Ogun State, you have the project in Abeokuta, I will give you the details. Just send me a WhatsApp message +234 +234 808 360 44117. These are the three current available projects. Now, I want you to stay tuned. In case you are new on this platform, don't miss the link to our community and our channel. Join the community, join the channel. There's some information I will share in the channel that I may not share in the community. There's some information I will share in the both community and channel. There's some information I will share in the community I will not share on the channel. So there links is in the description button of this video. At the end of this video or in the comment section, I'm going to pin it. In case you're new here, join the community of business-minded people and be the first person to get updates on businesses and investment. So three things that you may want to look out for is, okay, I want to take advantage of the landed property. I want to take advantage of investing. See, some of us have already sent me a message on WhatsApp. So if you are interested, if it's something you want to take advantage of, please do so. Let me give the next 5 minutes 4 questions and then we'll call it a day. There is no break today. Next 5 minutes for questions and then we'll call it a day. If you have a question based on what I have discussed on, please send in your question in the comment section and then we can trash this. You can make up to millions from the agribusiness, from the farming business. So now, if you now want to start, especially if you're in the diaspora, the question is, number one, asset for you is trust. Some days ago, I was on a farmland and then I was checking other neighboring farmland and I saw one farmland over 20 acres. Man invested heavily in it for, I think, last year. The farmland is something else now. It's not in Nigeria, it's in diaspora, and then sends sibling and he has a lot of workforce. He really invested. But it's just a pity that the farm is not operating now because the people that ran it, they were just sapping him. I really feel so bad for him because I cannot imagine how much he put in that 20 acres. You know, having done barbed wire around your 20 acres, do gatehouse, do farmhouse, then start cucumber farming, you know, and also they didn't really do some strong due diligence before they commence. In as much as the agri space is sweet and I've talked about the opportunity in it, it is important that when you want to commence, you ensure that the crop you are planting or you are commencing with. See, I didn't tell you animal husbandry because there are so many things around. These are also under farming, broilers or layers. This requires a lot. Even though you've done your due diligence to a point, there will still some forces beyond your control that will still affect you. In terms of feeds, animal feeds, the fluctuation in the Nigerian currency, you can be buying a bag of feed for 30,000 and the next week you're buying it for 45,000. And the rate at which the percentage increase of the feed is not the same rate at which you will increase the cost of your animal when you are selling. So there are so many things. So you have to look at so for animal husbandry, that one is another ball game. You look at their feeds, look at their health, and plan ahead. If you create the feed yourself, or you be the one to farm the feed yourself, and that way, so there are so many things. So please ask me your questions. This is 11 on dot. We have less than 3 more minutes. And I will call it today. I really appreciate you. While waiting for questions, if there's no question, I really appreciate everyone for joining today's section. Mr. Med Saliu joined us. Thank you for joining. Glad to see you on board, Mr. Med Saliu. Onset Financial Service from Samed Saliu is from USA or UK. Asset Financial Service from South Africa. And then we have Balala from Lagos, Natural Healing TV. Thank you so much for joining today's section. Next section will be coming Saturday. I'm going to run a poll. I'm going to run a survey in our community to know which is favorable for people, Tuesday or Friday. I shouldn't have just moved it to Tuesday. I should have also considered the audience. So, but nonetheless, I just want to get their feedback on the Tuesday, Friday, and a few other feedbacks, and then we can always see how this section can be more impactful. I think we don't have any question. Come on, let's ask me some question. If you want to ask a question, let's ask. There may be no break today. We call it a day. So I'll be waiting. Let's in the next 1 minute. If there's no other question, we're calling it a day, and then we can go and sleep. It is, I think I have a call for 2 minutes late for my call. I have a schedule for 11. All right, there is no question. Awesome. Thank you so much for today's section. Don't forget to share this link to people. It will be of great impact to them. And then if you are interested in either of these investments, reach out to me, and then we can pull out a conversation on whichever has grabbed your attention. Thanks so much, guys. Do have a great day. Bye.